A car accident leads to a Searcy man's death.
And Harding students come together to support an injured classmate. Your HU16 News starts right now.
From the students of Harding University, this is HU16 News, live at 5.
Hello and welcome to HU16's Live at 5. I'm Jackson Trahan.
And I'm Caroline Sellers. Thank you for joining us. A Searcy man dies in a fatal car accident. 63-year-old James Gaines was driving east on Arkansas 36 this morning when his vehicle drove off of the road. Gaines' truck overturned after crossing multiple lanes of traffic and crashed into a tree. Troopers say the weather conditions were clear and dry at the time of the accident.
Authorities have identified a body that was found in Wynne. The body found has been identified as 70-year-old Wynne resident Howard Earl Holmes. A resident reported the body Sunday afternoon after finding it in a shallow drainage ditch between Ash and Front Streets. The investigation is ongoing. If you have any information, contact State Police or the Wynne Police Department.
The child pornography trial of Josh Duggar continues today with a Homeland Security investigator taking the stand. Duggar is the oldest son of the famously large Duggar family featured in TLC's 19 Kids and Counting. He's accused of downloading explicit photos involving children as young as 7 years old. Today's testimony focused on how investigators obtained the electronic evidence and what complications there were with the different timelines and files. The defense team argues that prosecutors arrested the wrong person.
Searcy police are investigating an armed robbery that happened very close to Harding University campus. HU16's Maddie Powers joins us live with more information. Hello, Maddie.
Thank you, Jackson. Early this past Wednesday morning, a gas station right outside of Harding's campus was robbed at gunpoint. The suspect went into the Big Red store connected with the Valero gas station off of BB Caps Expressway at 3 in the morning to rob the establishment. The suspect was threatening employees with a handgun and got away with a small amount of money. I talked with an employee who was there that night, but she was not allowed to comment publicly without permission from the corporate office. No one was hurt, but police are searching for the suspect. If you have any information, please contact the Searcy Police Department. Reporting for HU16, I'm Maddie Powers. Back to you, Jackson.
Thanks, Maddie. The former Craighead County clerk has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. Cade Holliday pleaded guilty to 4 counts of theft of property and 1 count of forgery. Holliday stole nearly $14,000 from a local nonprofit, in addition to forging alcoholic beverage control applications. Holliday is set to enter police custody on December 10th.
A new COVID-19 variant is making some rethink vaccinations. According to a new study, almost 30% of unvaccinated study participants are reconsidering their stance. This comes in the wake of the rapidly spreading Omicron variant first detected in South Africa. That has now spread to the UK, Hong Kong, Italy, and Germany, among other countries. The first case of the Omicron variant in the U.S. was confirmed in California yesterday. Searcy residents may get an opportunity to try their hand at a new sport. Plans to transform 2 of Berry Hill Park's tennis courts into 8 pickleball courts was introduced at Tuesday's council meeting. The proposed addition would also include 1 more tennis court, resulting in 8 pickleball courts and 6 tennis courts. The construction would cost an estimate of a little over $1.3 million and has not yet been approved. The sun has been shining and the weather has been warming up.
HU16's Emma McDarris is here to update us on our weather. What's it looking like out there, Emma?
Well, we should have a little bit of cooler weather going into our weekend. Stay tuned to see your weekend weather. We'll see you after the break.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember, my strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. or call 1-877-333-5885.
I love
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
Welcome back to HU16 weather. I'm Emma McDarris. Let's get into our weather. Right now it's 75 degrees. It's felt like just about all day. It's been absolutely beautiful here in Searcy. A little bit warm for my December, but as we look across Arkansas, we can see that 70s were the trend for the entire state. As we look at today's highs, we can see that those 70s prevail just about everywhere. And as we look at tomorrow's highs, we're going to see about the same thing, with Searcy predicted to reach a high of 74. As we look at today's surface map, we can see we're pretty clear across the country, with maybe some strong winds coming down in on us, but nothing that affected us too bad today here in Searcy. As we look at tomorrow's surface map, however, we're going to see that precipitation has moved in over Arkansas, and we'll be feeling some of that. If we look at tonight, we're going to see that tonight's going to be 44 degrees. It should be a pretty clear night with a little bit of fog, nothing that we can't handle. Within the next 12 hours, we're going to see that, of course, that drop in temperature. But as I said, it's going to be a clear night to better enjoy those beautiful lights that we have up in the front lawn. As we look at our 5-day forecast, we can see, like as I said, tomorrow's going to have a high of 74. And Saturday, we're going to drop a little bit because there's a 40% chance of showers, so it's going to drop down to 62. And then again, Sunday it's predicted to storm, and that's going to drop our temperatures from Monday as a high of 49 degrees, heading into that winter weather. That's been everything for HU16's Weather Report. I'm Emma McDarris. Over to you, Jackson.
Thanks, Emma. Coming up, a look at how the Harding community has supported a continuation of a student in need.
And a Christmas parade taking place right here in Searcy when we come back.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the king, come banging on your chest. You can beat the world, you can beat the war. You could touch a God, go banging on his door. You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks. You can be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you can find yourself. Stand in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls in the Hall of Fame. Be a champion on the walls in the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers. Yeah, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame.
Your girls have been with you through every moment of your life. They were with you How well do you know them?
You don't know my
Knowing your
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking during the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah, 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they gonna know?
Talk. They hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You try.
The Harding community has rallied around a sophomore who is recovering from a serious car accident while on her way home from Thanksgiving break. AG16's Emily Sendermeyer has more in the newsroom. Hello, Emily.
Thanks, Caroline. Heading home for Thanksgiving break, sophomore Lindley Eller was involved in a serious car accident. News of Eller's accident quickly spread amongst the Harding community, and prayers from around the world were lifted towards Lindley and her healing. Darby Walker, Lindley's best friend and fellow Zeta Rho member, shares an update on Lindley and how she has seen the Harding community rally around the Eller family during this time.
Today, I think that they sat her up for the first time, is what her mom said, and she was really lightheaded, and it kind of dropped her blood sugars lower, I think. So they're like working on getting that, because she hasn't been sitting up at all for like the past week. So just little adjustments. People rally around her, just like in how they communicate with her mom. Because the thing that makes me, I think, the most sad is imagining being in her parents' shoes or her siblings' shoes. And like, obviously I miss her, but I just can't imagine having to be with her every day and like, I don't know, seeing her not be her usual joyful self. So yeah. the way that everybody's really come behind the family, I think, makes me the most like proud and happy.
Walker said that there are plans for next semester being put in place to support the family as Lindley continues to recover. To support the Eller family, there's a GoFundMe page link in Zeta Rho's Instagram bio that will be used to help the family with Lindley's medical expenses. Buttons to support Lindley will also be sold starting tomorrow in the Student Center. Each button will cost $2 and all proceeds will be given to the Eller family. I'm Emily Sundermeyer, HU16 News. Over to you, Jackson.
Thanks, Emily. A student Christmas market is one of the 3 Christmas events happening on Harding's campus tonight. Stop by the Maybe Business Building lobby tonight to buy holiday gifts and support Harding students. The Waldron Center for Entrepreneurship is putting on the event to allow Harding students to showcase their own small business. The market is currently happening and will end at 6:30 p.m.
Students and community members can also head to the Anthony Wright Administration Auditorium tonight for Harding's Christmas Music Spectacular. The Christmas concert will feature the Chamber Singers, Jazz Band, and String Quartet, among other musical performances. The performance will start at 7 p.m. and is free admission. Come and get in the holiday spirit with some Christmas classics.
Still wanting more holiday fun? Carriage rides will be available for students tonight on the front lawn as part of Harding's Christmas Open House. The rides will begin at the entrance of the Heritage Building and will be going from 7 to 9 tonight. In addition to the carriage rides and holiday lights, there will also be food and live music. One of the highlights of the Christmas season is happening this weekend in downtown Searcy. The annual Christmas Parade is this Saturday. It's part of a day full of holiday events from downtown organizers. That'll include the Polar Express Pajama Party, Santa reading to children at noon, and so much more. The lineup for the parade is at 4 p.m. Saturday on Spring Street and Mulberry Avenue, and the parade will begin at 6 p.m. For more information on the event, you can find that on the Searcy Holiday of Lights Facebook page.
Harding Sports has been busy lately, and we have multiple games tonight.
HU16's Ethan Kahn is here to tell us more. What do you have, Ethan?
Hey Jackson, December means basketball season, so we look ahead to Harding kicking off conference play on the hardwood tonight. All that and more after the break.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back.
when you want to talk, I'm here.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
The Lady Bisons basketball team opens up conference play tonight at home against Southern Arkansas. After dropping their first game of the year, Harding has won 4 straight to come into this one with a record of 4-1. Southern Arkansas, who was picked near the bottom of the GAC preseason poll, has also started 4-1. Tip-off will be at the conclusion of our broadcast at 5:30 in the Rhodes Reed Fieldhouse. Just after the conclusion of that game, the men's team will also be hosting Southern Arkansas in their first conference game. Harding comes in at 2-3 in their with playing 2 games over Thanksgiving break. Southern Arkansas lost their first 2 games of the season, but has had an impressive 4-game win streak to come in at 4-2. Tip-off will be at the conclusion of the women's game at approximately 7:30 p.m. For even more on the games tonight, HU16 Sydney Bryant is live in the Rhodes Reed Fieldhouse, where the women's game is moments away from tip-off. Hey, Sydney.
Thanks, Ethan. I'm down at the Rhodes Reed Fieldhouse where the Lady Bison and Bison basketball teams are gearing up for their first GAC matchup of the season against the SAU Mule Riders. Now, the last time the Lady Bisons played the Mule Riders was in February of this year down at the W.T. Watson Athletic Center in Magnolia, Arkansas. The Lady Bisons came up about 12 points short in a really close game. Now, if the Lady Bisons can win tonight, it will make it their 51st win against SAU in program history. Now, a player to look forward to tonight for the Lady Bisons will be Sage Hawley. Sage has averaged 11 rebounds a game for a total of 55 rebounds on the season and leads the Lady Bisons with 92 points. You can watch her there in the center tonight, as I'm sure she'll be a game play maker for the team tonight. Shortly after the women's game concludes, we'll be looking for the men's tip-off. The last time the Bisons played the Mule Riders was down in Magnolia that same day as the Lady Bisons, and they came up 6 points short in a really close game. Now, a win for the Bisons tonight will make it their 37th home victory right here in the Rhodes Reed Fieldhouse against the Mule Riders. I am going to note that the Bisons the Bisons have won 2 of the last 10 matchups against the Mule Riders, so making that 3rd victory tonight will really push confidence, and hopefully we'll see that confidence in GAC play for the rest of the season. An important player to note for the Bisons will be Taylor Curry. Taylor has led the Bisons in rebounding and points, averaging 8.6 rebounds a game and 43 rebounds on the season so far, and leads the Bison with 97 points. You can find him in the center tonight as well, and it'll be a great matchup for sure. It's not too late to come down, get your tickets, and buckle up for some great Bison basketball. Ethan, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sydney. The men's and women's track team kick off the indoor season in Pittsburgh, Kansas by competing in the Boo Rogers combined events hosted by Pittsburgh State over the weekend. Sophomore pole vaulter Dorian Shinyo looks to lead the men's team again this season as he comes off winning GAC Male Athlete of the Year. This will be the first of 3 meets Harding competes in at Pittsburgh State this season. Events will start around midday tomorrow and continue throughout the weekend. On a national scale, concern for baseball fans as the MLB entered a lockout yesterday. The lockout came on because of the collective bargaining agreement between players, owners, and the 30 different franchises in the MLB expiring. MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred understands the effects on the game.
It's not a good thing for the sport. It's not something that we undertake lightly. We understand it's bad for our business. We took it out of a desire to drive the process forward to an agreement now.
Until the sides can come to an agreement, there will be no baseball activities in the MLB. That's all I have for your HU16 for Live at 5 Sports. Over to you, Caroline and Jackson.
I sit down with the editor-in-chief of the Bison to discuss their final edition of the semester.
That and a final look at our 5-day forecast after the break.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants.
Hey! Okay.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
By the editor-in-chief of the Bison, as well as the student weekly newsletter, Everett Kirkman. Everett, thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
Now that Thanksgiving is over and Christmas is quickly approaching, as well as Christmas break, tell me, how is your staff preparing?
Yeah, so this week, tomorrow, is our last print edition of the semester, which is pretty crazy. So we will have stories on the link for Dead Week, but this is the last time we had a deadline night last night, and then we won't have another one till next semester, which is crazy. So kind of moving into the holiday season, we're covering stuff happening around town that are related to Christmas. So the Harding lights went on Monday night, so we covered that, have some pictures from that, as well as tomorrow, or Saturday morning, and throughout the day, there's different stuff with Holiday of Lights in downtown Searcy and across Searcy. Chocolate gravy competition. I know Santa's going to be there. There's a lot going on there. We also featured a couple different students around campus that have done some really cool things lately, like one sophomore who built and donated her own puppet that can do ASL to the Arkansas School for the Blind and the Deaf. So they can do puppet shows that can also do ASL with the puppets, which is really cool. So highlighting different students doing cool things, highlighting cool things around town. Yeah.
Now, you told me before we sat down that you do have members of your staff who are graduating in December, as well as students who are going abroad next semester, so you are going to have some shortages. Tell me, how can somebody get involved with the Bison?
Yeah, so if you're interested at all, you don't even have to be a comm major, definitely reach out. My email is ekirkman@harding.edu. Definitely email me if you're interested at all, even if just in volunteer writing week to week. We definitely want anyone to contribute that would like to, for opinions and for news stories. For staff positions, which are paid positions with scholarship money, we'll have some openings for sure, some change arounds. But yeah, if you're interested at all, reach out to me. I can talk more details, but yeah.
How does it feel as the editor-in-chief with this being the last print of the semester and you're going to jump right back in next semester? Tell me, what are your feelings?
Yeah, it's a little surreal because it definitely is a huge midway point to get to. I feel like the second half of the semester really sped up and it hasn't slowed down. So I don't really feel like it's real yet. Thanksgiving was a little bit of a wake-up call. I feel like Christmas break I'll really realize and be able to look back on what we've accomplished this semester.
All right, Everett, we always enjoy having you.
Yeah.
That is all I have. Now over to Emma with our final weather.
Thank you, Caroline. Let's take one last look at our 5-day forecast before we head out. As I've said, tomorrow's high is going to be 74 degrees, and it should be a pretty cloudy day tomorrow. But as we head into Saturday and Sunday, we are going to likely see precipitation both those days, and our temperatures will be dropping a little bit, but on Monday they will be dropping extremely to 49, so we might be able to see a little bit of that winter weather heading into next week. That's all I have for your 5-day forecast. Over to you, Jackson.
Thanks, Emma, and thank you for joining us for HU16's Live at 5, where community matters.
Stay tuned for the Lady Bison's basketball game live from the Rhodes Reeves, and we'll see you tomorrow.